Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be comparing all of the different formats of music and explaining why I stream music while also having a physical music collection. So I've had a few comments and questions throughout the years as to why I stream music while I also have a CD and vinyl collection. I enjoy the digital format as well as the physical format, and I'm going to be explaining why and also discussing the pros and cons to each medium. So why do I stream music on a regular basis while also having a CD and vinyl collection? The short answer is just because I am a fan of music. It's really as simple as that. I am a music fan at heart, so of course I'm going to try out all of the different formats. I love all forms of music, both digital and physical. Some formats are more convenient than others though. Some people only like streaming, some people only like physical media, so it's really interesting to talk about within the vinyl community. And if you are thinking about starting one of these collections, whether it's digital or physical, this video might help you because I'm going over what I love about each, all the pros and cons. And I also grew up in the digital age. I do remember having CDs around. That's when I was really young, and then as I was getting to be a teenager, like everything was digital, so that's really all I had, that's all I was exposed to, and that's kind of what I started with, so I kind of just stuck with that. I do think it is also a generational thing, but anybody can enjoy streaming music. So why do I personally stream music? It's kind of obvious, and I feel like everyone can agree. It's so easy to just pick up my phone and start playing a song. It takes literally 2 seconds. I love being able to listen to music on the go with my phone. You know, streaming is definitely the fastest, the quickest, and the most convenient format, I would say. I think the biggest pro to streaming music is the massive catalog. I have used multiple different streaming platforms: YouTube Music, Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud. Right now I have a Spotify subscription, so that's what I'm going to be basing all of this off of, because right now my main streaming platform is Spotify. You can find almost any song on Spotify, and there's just a massive collection of music. And with Spotify and a lot of other streaming platforms, it's very customizable. I love being able to make different playlists and also uploading my own names and artwork for those playlists. It's just really fun to customize my music that way, which is something you can't really do with CDs or vinyl or cassettes. And it's also really fun and easy to send people music. And you guys know it's probably a little bit harder to send people things like CDs and vinyl if you want them to hear a song. But there are obviously some downsides to streaming music. You can't find every single song in the world online. Some platforms have certain songs that others don't, and also songs can be taken down off of streaming platforms at any given moment. And streaming is also technically like renting, I would say. With Spotify and other streaming platforms, you usually have to pay a subscription fee, so it is like renting, so it's not free, and it's definitely not cheap. That does add up over time, the cost of all of those subscription platforms. I mean, the trade-off is you do get access to millions and millions of songs, but unlike CD or vinyl, you do have to pay a fee every single month or so. But I love streaming music, and the main reason I do is just because I'm always working on my phone or on my computer, or even listening to music in the car. It's so easy, quick, and convenient to just start listening to my favorite songs. So for the convenience of it, I would say streaming definitely is like in first place. There are so many reasons why I love collecting physical media. I'm going to be talking about the main reason why I personally got into it in a future video, but for right now I just want to go over like the general reasons why I love collecting physical media. One reason is because of the bonus tracks. Some bands and artists have bonus tracks from their albums that are only available on CDs and vinyl, and I think that's really cool and a great incentive to get people to buy physical media for those bonus exclusive songs. One example would be the song Midnight by 5 Seconds of Summer. Technically that song is on YouTube, but it was meant to be an exclusive for Japan. They have a Japan exclusive CD for their album Youngblood, and that Midnight song is a Japan exclusive song. And obviously with physical media, you own the music. You pay one price and that's it. You're done. You own the music forever. It's not gonna go anywhere. You're not gonna lose it. And in that way it is cheaper. You pay $10 for a CD one time and you have those songs forever. You can even download them and upload them to your phone or computer. You can also also pass down physical media to your kids or younger people that you know, like pass it on to the younger generation. And that's definitely going to help keep physical media alive. You can't really pass down digital music to people. It's one of the best parts, I think, of physical media is sharing the music. And that kind of ties into the hands-on experience of it. That is the main draw to physical media, I think, the main like selling point of it. I absolutely love the process of getting a record out and putting it on the turntable and listening to it, or getting out a CD, putting it in the CD player, hooking up my speakers and everything. The hands-on experience of listening to vinyl and CDs is such a fun process and I love it. It's definitely not convenient compared to streaming. Like, it does take time and care and maintenance, but it's so worth it. There's something really fun about being a collector and going out to get new releases by the bands and artists that I love. And with that comes exclusive signed artwork and booklets, which you can only get on physical media. Artists can't really sign digital songs or MP3 files, you know, so there's something extra special about getting an art card or booklet hand signed by your favorite band or artist. And that definitely does add to the collector aspect and something that also draws in people to collect physical media because it could be signed. Let's talk about CDs. There are so many reasons why I love collecting CDs. Obviously, they are super cheap. I would say CDs or maybe even cassettes would be the cheapest format. I always find cheap CDs. You can get used ones for like $1 at Goodwill or somewhere else. And even the new ones are between $15 and $20. I love that CDs are small. They're very easy to store. Because they are so small, they're easy to transport. You can also bring them on the go. Recently, I've really been loving the sound quality of CDs. CDs are digital, so they don't have that static noise or surface noise that vinyl does. No cracks or pops. It's a clear, smooth, crisp sound when it comes to CDs, and I've really been liking that lately. I do prefer that crisp digital sound over vinyl. When I listen to music, I prefer there to be no staticky cracks or pops or anything like that. That's just my personal opinion. Let me know in the comments if you prefer one sound or the other, the crisp digital sound or like that vintage vinyl crackle pop sound. CD players can be a lot cheaper than record players, especially if you're just getting something simple like a portable Bluetooth CD player. That's probably going to be cheaper than even like the lowest level turntable, like a suitcase model. CD players are easier to carry around and transport, like they're very portable compared to big heavy record players. I also love being able to skip songs on a CD. CDs are also a lot harder to damage. Most CDs do come in a plastic jewel case, which provides extra protection, so it's a lot easier to keep them protected. And I also noticed that when my CDs are scratched, it doesn't really affect the sound that much. Like, I don't hear any skips or anything like that listening to my CDs, and it's really easy to wipe off fingerprints and dust from CDs compared to vinyl. The vinyl cleaning process is a lot different and a little bit harder, I would say. There aren't a ton of cons to CDs that I could come up with. One of them is that the booklet and the artwork is kind of small, so sometimes it is hard to read the lyrics that are in the booklets or small details. Newer cars do not have CD players anymore, which is kind of crazy, like a sign of the times. Like, if I go out and buy a newer car and it doesn't have a CD player, I'm kind of screwed because I won't be able to listen to my CDs within the car itself. I definitely would love to have a car with a CD player. Like, I just can't imagine not listening to my CDs in the car, and I wish newer cars would have that feature. I love my vinyl collection so much. I've made so many videos about it, so it's definitely something I love and am very passionate about. One of the main things that draws me to vinyl is the big artwork. Obviously, the vinyl jackets and covers are 12 inches, so you get that big blown up artwork, and I love it because I am a fan of art. I am an artist, a painter myself, so I do appreciate the artwork that goes into albums, so being able to see it on a much bigger scale compared to CDs is something I think is really awesome. Colored vinyl is also really cool, something that's kind of exclusive to vinyl. Yes, CDs can have artwork on them, but I do prefer colored vinyl. I just love looking at a big colorful record, especially if it's a really bright color or a really unique design. I think it's so cool, and I love seeing all the different color combinations, and it definitely adds to the collector aspect. And it can be fun to collect the different variants of your favorite artist albums. Some people do like to do that. Personally, I'm not a completist, but I do appreciate the different variants if they do offer enough difference between them, like if they aren't all the same. I do have a few variants in my collection, like one or two, but the album artwork is different and the color of the record is different, so I do like it when artists make the variants very unique. Even though I think vinyl is my favorite format, I also think it is the format with the most amount of cons. Depending on how you look at it, these things can be seen as good or bad. There's a lot of care and maintenance that goes into them, so you do have to take the time to take care of your records, clean them, exchange the sleeves, all of that, and you also have to be careful of how you store them too so that they stay good over time. And it's so easy to damage records. They are very, very fragile, so you also have to be more careful when handling them. And obviously the price of vinyl is way more expensive than CDs. New vinyl is anywhere from $20 to $40, maybe even up to $50. Records are also a lot bigger, so you do have to have a lot more space when you collect records. If you want them to stay good for a long time, you should store them vertically, so you also have to consider that when you have a big collection. It's a much longer process to play your records. You know, you have to take it out of the jacket, put it on the turntable. You might have to move the tone arm and lower it yourself and fix all the settings and things and turn on your speakers and all of that. Like, it's a much longer process. And then when a side of the record is done, you have to flip it over. And if you don't have the patience or the time for that, it can be seen as a downside to vinyl. Not gonna lie, it can be inconvenient at times, but I do appreciate the process for what it is and I do like it. But I do consider it a con just because it is more inconvenient compared to the other formats. So those were all of the pros and cons when it comes to the different formats of music, comparing CDs and vinyl to streaming platforms, and listening to music digitally versus physically. There are good things and bad things to every single format. Some people in the vinyl community like to talk about which one is the superior format, and I honestly don't know. Like, I see pros and cons to each one, so I don't know which one is superior. I like different things about each one. I'm leaning more towards vinyl, but I also love my CDs and I love streaming. Sometimes I'd say streaming is more convenient and sometimes I think vinyl is like a more fun experience. I don't know which one is superior, but if you guys have an answer, let me know which format you guys think is superior. I think it's really interesting to talk about why each format is so different and why people love each format or hate each format. So I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know your opinions on streaming versus physical media. Let me know if you collect CDs and vinyl and you stream, or you do one or the other. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!